What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's a special day. Today we're going to talk about the right response to the wrong behavior and maintaining your integrity regardless of the situation around you. This is, I want to say a fun topic because it is. I know many of us feel like we would like to take the high road, but we don't know how. When someone is pushing your buttons, when you're feeling like you're being triggered, how should you respond? How do you want to respond? Do you want to respond with love? You want to take the high road, but you're afraid that the person you're involved in this interaction with isn't going to receive that well. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're in a situation where somebody's screaming or yelling or cussing or throwing things, maybe it's time for you to get out of that relationship. Maybe it's time for you to change scenery, but there are going to be situations in your life where you're going to have interactions with people that aren't being the most pleasant, right? They're being confrontational, argumentative, instigative. How do you respond to that? That's what we're going to talk about today. Before we start talking about how we want to deal with conflict, how we want to work on our tools that we have in our toolbox to de-escalate a situation when it's gotten out of control. When we see that someone's anxiety is causing them to behave in an unpleasant way, in a way that might be triggering for other people around them, in a way that might be triggering for you in particular. How do we not want to handle that? First, you don't want to respond to someone else's anxiety or someone else's poor behavior by responding with that same poor behavior yourself, right? If somebody is threatening to hit you, you don't want to threaten to hit them back. If someone is cursing at you, you don't want to respond back by cursing at them or yelling, because then all of a sudden you're both not equipped to de-escalate the situation because you're both out of control. You want to keep your control. You want to keep your peace no matter what is going on around you. If your partner is cheating, right? You don't want to respond to that by losing your integrity yourself. So regardless of what's going on around you, you want to make sure that you can keep your peace, that you can keep your integrity, that you're not taking on that other person's negative energy, because that's what happens when you match bad behavior with bad behavior. It just piles on. So what are some tools that we can use to help us keep the peace, to help us keep our energy positive and well, despite an intense situation, to keep it from escalating, or at least to keep it from escalating within you? We talked briefly about what that looks like, what you don't want to do, but how should you behave when someone isn't behaving properly? How can you make sure that you maintain your peace no matter what's going on around you? The first thing, I'm sure all of you are going to want to hear me say this, but I'm going to throw that out there, is try to avoid situations where you know are going to be triggering to begin with. You know there's going to be conflict to begin with. If you have that person in your life, you know every time you have a conversation with this person, they're instantly going to want to drain your energy. They're going to be negative. You want to minimize your interactions with those people. Sometimes it's not avoidable, but if you can, you don't want to create extra stress for yourself by putting yourself in a situation that you don't have to put yourself in, where you're trying to build someone up or give someone advice or offer someone help who's not ready to move. That's, got their crap all over them and doesn't want to have it cleaned off. They just want to live in their anger or frustration or with their energy, and you can't pull them out of that because they're not ready to change. So we need to give those people space until they are ready to change. I'm sincerely ready to change, ready for a shift in their energy. The second thing you want to do, if you find yourself in a situation where someone is stressed out and being angry, you want to keep your calm. I know a friend of mine, one thing that she said to me that really hit home was that when someone is being triggering to her, she understands that means one of two things: that they're doing it on purpose, or that they aren't aware of it, that they might not be intentionally trying to create a disturbance. So if you respond to them with kindness and love, with patience, compassion, and you're listening, right? You're not yelling to match their yelling, but you're listening and you're being calm. Sometimes even apologetic, it will help that person to calm down themselves. Otherwise, if they're trying to upset you, to not give them that satisfaction, to not offer up your peace in exchange for their rage, because that's what happens. When you meet someone else's anxiety, someone else's anger with anger, it transfers over to you. I know we were talking about in another video how so much of life is understanding the transference of energy. So when someone else is stressed or angry or sad, that can be transferred to another person. If you haven't grounded yourself, if you're not prepared to deal with that interaction, just being mindful of that can help a lot. So if someone's angry, you can understand that you can shift their mood by bringing peace into that situation. And if they're trying to make you angry, don't give them the satisfaction by relinquishing your peace. I love you guys. The next thing I want to talk about is some exercises that we can use to help you keep your peace in a stressful situation. I'm talking about those people who are going to want to encourage you to fight with them. They might be screaming at you, they might be throwing things, they might be calling you names, they might be asking you questions and then cutting you off so that you can't answer, and all of a sudden you're stressed out. It doesn't have to be like that. You can, if they cut you off, you can wait for the next pause and say, okay, well, if you're going to behave this way, I'm not going to talk with you until you're ready to calm down. And they might be talking over you while you're saying that, but you can be sincere about it, and you can give them space until they're ready to speak to you in a respectful manner. So I really want you guys to be able to use this video to help you navigate through dealing with stressful situations, through dealing with conflict and de-escalating problems as they come, so you can keep your peace. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, sweetheart.